Greetings, class, and welcome to week 4. I want to thank you for your flexibility and also remind you that there will be an optional session, more of a question and answer session on Tuesday evening at our normal time at 7 o'clock. Again, I want to emphasize that this is an optional opportunity. We'll use today's video as a summary of what is to come. But again, want to make sure that there's that personalized time to ask questions if you are so inclined. Again, optional session on Tuesday, April 4th at 7 o'clock. I will send you a link, and again, know that that is an optional session. I want to spend my time today being somewhat focused with this video, but hopefully less than 15 minutes. As we always do, I'd like to start off with our forward thinking. I don't want to go through each of these items and spend the next 7 minutes on that. At the same time, I want to very much encourage you to continue to read that, to listen to the thoughts of your classmates, to look at the experiences across the board. I think there is tremendous learning in the forward thinking as we look at perspectives from different schools, different areas of state, public schools, charter schools, private schools. Those perspectives are very important as you ask yourself questions, reflect on the insights that are provided, and also think about if you were the principal, what would you do? Those are very important questions. So again, I want to encourage you to make sure that you dive deeply into that on our optional session. I won't also dig into it like I normally do, but I would like to make sure that you take the time to review that. I'd like to also take a look at the assignment summary for this week, which was emailed to you earlier on Sunday. As we look at what we are moving towards, building the school budget, managing resources for productivity and performance. That's one of the things we always want to look at. As we look at our budgets, how does it drive the performance of our kids and the success of our cultures? As we look at the readings, two readings that will step a little bit deeper into financing education, both in Minnesota, school transportation, capital finance, and also looking at referendums, health and safety. We'll get a little bit deeper into that process in the upcoming weeks. The other thing that we will do in weeks 5, 6, and 7 is look more at the budgeting cycle, the digital budgeting process, and also the UFAR's business practices. One of the things I want to point out today, there are 3, what I believe, amazing resources that will be very, very helpful for you to understand that budgeting process. As we look at the first item, there is a short article about a beginner's guide to budgeting and managing school finance. As we look a little bit further, it's different contents about making the budget work for a school improvement plan, not just meeting the obligations of the financial issues within your building, but making sure that we're continually involved in that improvement process, understanding the principles, and from there, where does the money come from, and some things that are a little bit repetitive, but also from another perspective. I like the part as we get a little bit farther down here about value for your money. I recall a process about 5, 6 years ago. We had a budget process, a textbook purchasing process that had to go through a textbook company. I was allocated a quick $400 for a couple of different reasons. I said, well, that's really nice. I can buy 3 textbooks. I went on to Amazon and found out that I could buy 40 textbooks for a specific honors course. But of course, the debate went on that you can't buy from Amazon. You have to buy from their provider. Not a very wise way to spend our tax dollars. And of course, today it's much different. We can buy from our best option, and often that is through large distributors. But at the same time, if you can find a better price, why wouldn't we use that better price? Our next item is an article about trust and leadership. As we look at the budgeting process, it is more than an analytical process, and I hope we've made that very, very clear through our discussions. I like this first quote. I want to take a moment when you play this video to look at this article to read this quote. The school district budget is a powerful tail that wags the dog. Not a science, but an art. Budget development in a school system is a school system's roadmap to success. I've seen budgets make the school system the success they are known for, and I've seen budgets throw school systems into a tailspin. Several quotes in this article that I think you'll very clearly understand the power of the budget process from a resource allocation standpoint, but more importantly from a trust and leadership standpoint. Shared values, mission, vision, values. We continue to talk about that, how we need to align. Again, short article, very, very powerful. A couple quick videos that are involved in that also. Another item from another perspective, another school district perspective, is about how school budgets are made and the way that we engage our stakeholders. And the last one is a little bit more about budget versus strategic financial planning. It's a little bit longer and it's a little bit drier than some, but it does have some good content that really makes you think about the importance of not just putting together that analytical budget, but having a strategic financial plan for continuous improvement and the outcomes of learning and the quality culture within your building. Those are the primary resources that I'd like to share with you today as we go back to our assignment summary. The assignments for this week, of course, are weekly discussion question, forward think. Again, I really appreciate the thoughtfulness that you put into it and the different perspectives that you bring to the class. End of week 5, we will have your project due. Let me pull that up. Here we go. Your first project is due on the 5th, at end of the 5th week. Next Monday night, as we engage in WebEx, I want to make sure that you are planned to talk about the 2 or 3 large takeaways from this. What did you learn from this project? What insights did you gain from the involvement and the engagement? And you all took a very, very individualized process, and that's important that you do that to hit the targets, and then share some of that information so we can all learn from each other. The final project, let me pull that up on the screen, is listed on page 4 in your syllabus. And that project is looking at you as a leader within your building. It could be the principal, it could be from a financial manager standpoint, but when you engage in a large commitment of resources to your school, how will you do that? What will be the why, the what, and the how of the project? Please take time to make sure that you have looked deeply into this final project. It's coming upon us. We will discuss it, your takeaways on the Week 7 WebEx, and this will be due on the Sunday of that final session. Again, because our course is formally done on the Monday of Week 7, it can be due then. I would like to extend the opportunity for you to have through that Sunday to complete the project. Again, I think it's very self-explanatory as you go through. The most important thing is this a project that your school or school district is involved in? You can use that as an opportunity. Or you can look at, if I was the principal, this is something I'd like to do. And these are some of the variables that I'd need to put together. Again, it also gives all the ingredients of that. And I also want to make sure that I provide some flexibility to you to make this your own. If you have questions about options and opportunities, please let me know. Otherwise, on page 4 of your syllabus, please make sure that you're very, very clear on that. And if you have questions, let me know. Again, as we look a little bit further down the road, as I mentioned just a few moments ago, the budget cycle is important. As we get into week 5, 6, and 7, we will be talking about the budget cycle, that ongoing process. We are always involved in the budget process. We'll be looking at, I will open up my digital budget so you can kind of see what is at the fingertips of creating a budget in a digital format. And of course, we'll get a little bit deeper into the UFAR's budget management process. Some of you are very familiar with it. Other folks have used that as your first project. Otherwise, it may be something that's a little bit new. And depending on your role, that will be important to understand that UFAR process intimately. For others, it will be just an understanding that there are those codes, there are categories of spending, and there is business management process that are required by law and, of course, by your school district. Again, I hope the brief overview is helpful. I will post that. I was having a few problems getting things posted onto Blackboard. I think there was a server issue that I've been told about. Hopefully that will be resolved very soon, and this will be posted by midday on Monday. Again, I want to thank you for your flexibility, to remind you of our optional session on Tuesday evening. And otherwise, if you have questions, as always, please let me know, and have a wonderful week.